10 years ago, I moved to Dubai earning a six-figure salary from my 9 to 5 job with commission, but I was stuck living paycheck to paycheck. Bear in mind, Dubai is tax-free, so not paying a penny of tax. I'm going to be sharing 4 tips that help me turn it all around in less than 7 years, and you don't need to be on a high salary to make these methods work for you. They even work better sometimes on a lower income. Tip number 1, go on a spending fast. This approach not only helped me curb my spending habits, but it also significantly boosted my savings. A spending fast is essentially a commitment to refrain from discretionary purchases for a set period of time. The idea is to halt any spending that isn't necessary for basic survival or crucial needs. By doing this, you can break the cycle of overspending and you can start saving more money. A spending fast works because it forces you to confront your spending habits head on. Here's a quote from Warren Buffett: "Do not save what is left after spending, but spend what is left after saving." This mindset shift is crucial for achieving financial stability. When I decided to go on a spending fast, I set a goal to cut out all unnecessary purchases for 3 months. This meant no dining out, no deliveries, no Ubers, no new clothes, no new beauty products, no new gadgets, and hardest of all, no spontaneous trips. Instead, I explored free activities, stuff I actually really enjoyed, like hiking, visiting parks, and hosting nights at home. I soon realised I didn't need new things to feel happy or fulfilled. There were so many benefits by cutting out unnecessary expenses. I was able to save a substantial amount of money. This was the first step towards building my emergency fund and also investing in my future. It also made me more aware of my spending habits. It taught me to question every single purchase and consider, do I really need it? Going without luxuries actually made me appreciate what I already had. It shifted my focus from material possessions to experiences and relationships. Spending fast might seem really daunting at first, but it is worth all the effort. Number 2, tracking spending. So this was one of the most transformative tips I ever discovered. It's so simple, but it's so powerful, and it was a massive game changer for me. This quote pretty much sums it up: beware of little expenses. A small leak will sink a great ship. For years and years, I was unaware of the small leaks that was sinking my financial ship. The turning point came when I started to track every single expense. So I decided to track my spending for a month, writing down every penny I spent when I moved back to the UK. I was bleeding money on non-essential items without even realising it. Once I started tracking my spending, I made changes pretty much immediately. I could also create a realistic budget because I had a clear picture of my expenses. I allocated funds to essential categories like rent, groceries, savings. Tracking my spending helped me set and achieve financial goals. I used the money saved to build an emergency fund, pay off debt, and start investing. Use a spending tracker app, so there's apps like Mint. You need a budget, or even a simple spreadsheet, which is exactly what I did to record my expenses. You also need to categorize your spending. Divide it into food, transportation, entertainment, and bills. Get to review regularly. At the end of each week or month, review your spending. Look for patterns and identify areas where you can cut back. Tracking your spending is one of the most crucial steps towards financial freedom. It opens your eyes to your spending habits and helps you make informed decisions. Tip number 3, embrace living below your means. No better quote to sum this up than: too many people spend money they earned to buy things they don't want, to impress people that they don't like. It's all about prioritizing financial security and long-term goals over fleeting desires and social pressures. It doesn't mean sacrificing happiness. It means aligning your spending with your values and your goals. So I used to be caught up in a rat race of consumerism, constantly chasing the next big purchase. The turning point came when I realised that true wealth isn't actually measured by material possessions, but by financial freedom. As one small example, I used to feel pressured to dine out at expensive restaurants, attend exclusive events just to keep up with the social scene. It wasn't until I made the decision to live below my means that I began to break free from the cycle. I started prioritising experiences that brought me genuine joy and fulfilment rather than ones that were driven by social expectations. First, you need to define your values. Take some time to reflect on what truly matters to you in life. What are your priorities? What are your goals? What are your aspirations? Align your spending with your values to ensure that your money serves your vision for the future. Secondly, simplify your lifestyle. Identify areas where you can cut back on expenses without sacrificing quality of life. This could mean downsizing your home, reducing spending, or looking at your subscriptions and services. It's also important to cultivate a mindset of gratitude and appreciation for what you already have. Tip number 4, saving for big purchases. We live in a world of instant gratification where it's tempting to swipe our credit cards for that shiny new gadget or luxury item. We see something we want and we want it right now. The problem with this approach is that it often leads to debt or financial strain. Buying big ticket items on credit might give us satisfaction, but it can also give us high interest payments and long-term financial stress. Instead, how about harnessing the power of patience? Saving up for big purchases allows us to avoid debt and make informed decisions. By setting money aside every single month, we can accumulate enough funds to buy what we want without relying on credit. Saving up for a big purchase can also give us negotiation power. When we have cash in hand, we may be able to negotiate better prices or financing terms. Saving for big purchases requires financial discipline and planning. It teaches us to prioritize our spending and distinguish between needs and wants. How exactly do you save for the bigger purchases? Let's consider a practical example, a holiday to your dream destination. Imagine you've always wanted to explore Machu Picchu in Peru. Instead of impulsively booking the trip on credit and dealing with the stress of debt afterwards, you can save for it over time. Firstly, you will need to look at the costs. Start by researching the cost of a trip, including flights, accommodation, tours and other expenses. Say as an example, the total cost for the trip is about £3,000. Based on your total cost and your timeline, set a goal. If you want to take this trip in 1 year, you'll need to save £250 per month. Your current expenses and identify areas where you can cut back to allocate more funds towards your travel fund. So this might include dining out less frequently, reducing entertainment expenses or cancelling unused subscriptions. It's really important to automate your savings. It's one of my top tips. Set up a transfer from your current account to a dedicated savings account. This makes sure you consistently contribute to your goal each month without really having to think about it. Once you've saved enough money, book that trip and enjoy the experience. Know that you paid for it in cash without going into debt. The next time you're tempted to pull out your credit card for that big ticket item, remember the power of patience and the satisfaction of saving up and paying cash. I really hope my story has inspired you to take control of your own financial destiny. Remember, it's never too late to start making positive changes. Whether you're tackling a spending fast, tracking your expenses, or saving up for big purchases, each step forward is a step towards a brighter financial future. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you hit that subscribe button for more videos like this. And I'll see you in the next video.